Wow. Hi. Hi, everyone. It's been a while. I forgot how to be a streamer. Teehee. Teehee. My backdrop might look different. Where is everything? I moved all my setup downstairs because I do have my sister moving in. So it's a blank wall right now. I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna do. It literally is just a blank wall. So trying to figure out what I want to do. Not quite sure yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Thank you, Juju, for the 6 months. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's been a bit, hasn't it? I wasn't supposed to be gone this long, but with circumstances regarding my sister and stuff, we ended up staying in Texas a little bit longer. And then Ina, thank you for the sub. For 22 months, that's a long damn time. Thank you, Ina. If you find a small door in your home, enter that to save it. I'm in the back rooms. It is interesting, but I kind of like it because one, it's not as hot down here. I'm not even gonna lie. It's nice. It feels nice. And I have a TV on this wall, so I can actually really multitask now. So it's kind of a nice setup. But so that's where I've been. I've been in Texas for 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks I don't know what happened. I'm here now, and everything's finally down here, so I can stream. And then I don't know how my streaming schedule is gonna go once my sister moves in, but she'll hopefully find a job and it won't be that bit different. But hello, Chris. Hello, Woah Bestie. Hello, Juju. Hello, Ina. Hello, not Ina. Thank you for the hype train, Ina. How is everyone? I went to Fall Out Boy this past week as well, which tired me out, and all I got was these silly little things. Oh, that in this. That's my souvenirs from the show. And photos, because I have a new point and shoot, which is fancy. Oh my god, it's a hype train. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Ina, thank you for the gifted sub to Woah Bestie. Were you able to get your refund? No. So if you follow me on TikTok, I've kind of complained about, or any social media, I think I've complained on every single one by now. If you followed me there, you would see that I went to Fall Out Boy, and all I got was a stupid no. I went to Fall Out Boy, and it started thunderstorming right after Bring Me the Horizon. And we had to evacuate and stay updated with Live Nation and the amphitheater's social media. There was no service out there because in the middle of fucking nowhere, Wisconsin. And it was an hour and a half before Fall Out Boy had the okay to go back on stage. Me and Jeremy had parked way in the back of the venue near the exit. So it took us forever to walk back to the front, and Fall Out Boy started playing while we were waiting to get back into the venue. Oh my god, another gifted sub. Y'all are making me blush right now. Thank you for gifting one to Tim. Hi, Tim. I went to a Fall Out Boy concert and got all the vowels removed from my name. Thank you, Juju. Yeah, so Fall Out Boy started playing. As soon, like, we were outside the venue, like, trying to do the security check. Security check was a joke too. I just rushed through fine. Anyway, like, after being let back in, and then we had to run to the front. Our seats were taken by people from the lawn, and so we didn't pay as much money. I was sitting in the VIP section, surprisingly. Didn't know that. So the girl next to me gave me this piece of VIP. It's a glasses holder, I think. I don't know what else it would be. With no glasses in it. It's just a leather pouch, pleather. But she gave that to me, and she's like, since you bought your ticket off a reseller and I won't use this. And I was like, very thankful for her. But I didn't see her again because I didn't see my whole section again. And I actually saw people in my section on TikTok, so... Wild. But we have not gotten a refund yet. Thank you, Live Nation. I hate you. And I hate Live Nation for basically Live Nation and Ticketmaster for running everything. I hate it. But that's what happened last week. Texas was actually fun and relaxing, surprisingly. I spent a lot of money though. So thank you for that hype train. That's where I've been. And the server I said if you hopped in before the type trade ended, I gift you. Yes, my name is Pink on Twitch. I call it more magenta. My name is this shade of pink or whatever. The razor shade almost. I would say it. Thank you for the biddies. Thank you, Whoa Bestie. You're so sweet right now. We're gonna start game 2. This is where it left me. I forgot how to be a streamer. I'm not even gonna lie. I forgot to turn the fan on, so hopefully we don't get hot. Tim, you're colorblind? That makes 2 gay little bitches in here who are colorblind. I didn't know. I had no idea. Rye's colorblind too. That's 2 little gay bitches colorblind. You literally bring... Wait, what colorblind version are you? Because I know there's several. That's crazy. That's crazy. I can't imagine not being able to see pink correctly. That would hurt my soul. Thank you, Chris, for the biddies. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. But that's where I've been while I got a new haircut. I dyed my hair too. My hair was red last time I was on stream, and now there's no red in it. But I do have hair extensions that I did forget to put in. But I hated my last haircut. That's why I was a PNG tuber a lot of the times, is because I really hated my hair. Now this is a serve. I like this haircut a lot more. A solid black with my baby bangs. I don't know. I like it a lot more than whatever I had going on. But because it is black hair dye, I will probably not be bleaching my hair for a little bit. I see colors just a little different. Like all the colors? Are you sure? I saw the colorblind TikTok filter. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Skin colors even look silly. Even skin colors, my brother was texting. But yeah, so y'all might see my sister in streams eventually. I don't know, she's kind of crazy. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'm getting a new roommate. Teehee. Those are so not correct. I think that's like certain color blindness or something. I went to Topgolf last weekend. Do you like it? Thank you for the level 2 hype trade. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not a golf player. Try to be inclusive and make things look goofy. I saw like something though that was like also explaining how to make games more colorblind friendly. I thought that was an interesting like conversation that I think I've never thought about, you know? Like how certain colors can make games a lot more unbearable to play for people who are colorblind. I forgot how to talk on Twitch. I'm not a golf player. I like mini golf sorta. Not really though. It was expensive. It was really fun. My friend works there, so we got games for God bless, because Topgolf is kind of expensive. My fiance went to a Topgolf party for someone's birthday. I didn't go, I think I was streaming. I think I was here when Jeremy went to it. And he surprised me with Chipotle. I don't know if you remember that. That was his first time at Topgolf. I'm just kind of anti-golf, though, realistically. Any big golf. Thanks, Fortnite. I played Fortnite with the colorblind mode. It just made everything blue. See, like, things like that, like, they're not accessible for sure. You just extreme bad mode. I haven't played Fortnite in a bit. I haven't played games in a bit, actually. I have to be honest. I'm gonna turn this ring light down. I'm being blinded. I feel like the color grading is a little funky when I have a white wall back here, so it's a little funky, and I don't... Maybe make it more inviting, shall we? Thank you for the lurk, Ina, and thank you for the subs. I really appreciate it. Splatoon is really good at making it accessible. You just because they like it has to do with hue, right? Color values, I believe. My group collectively only got like 3 things total. What? I don't know anything about Topgolf. More biting? Unless. JK unless. JK unless. But anything else that's new? I don't know. I've been reading a lot. I did not finish Tears of the Kingdom, but I have watched several playthroughs of the end, And I don't think I would beat it anyway, so what's the point? The worst game at Colors is Virtue's Last Rewards. Literally a 10 out of 10 game, and my ass was dying because the majority of the escape rooms are based around color. What? Okay, that's stupid. That's really dumb. I'm still mad about Zelda. Is it safe? I don't know if it's safe to talk about still. I think we have to give it another month. Another month, I think, and then we could talk spoiler free. I think. I don't know. I don't know what the rule is for spoilers, but I did finally watch a few playthroughs at the end, and I have a lot of thoughts, but I don't think I would beat it. I'm not gonna lie. No. See, I won't talk about it yet. I won't talk about it yet, but I didn't have time to play. In Texas, I literally was so fucking busy. I would wake up, have something to do, and then pass out. And then it actually fixed my whole sleep schedule. So I will stop playing when I get tired, basically, because I go to bed at like anywhere from 10 to... I sometimes go to bed at 10, but 10 to 12. And then I wake up at 8, and I take my dog for a walk. And then I'm a normal human being for the last month. It's been a nice break. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a nice break. I've kind of just been not on social media too, so it was kind of nice from that. It's wild. It is wild how much I just needed to see my friends and family, I guess. I need a roommate. I haven't played. I'm waiting until I get my own place. I need a roommate, then Zelda. That's exciting though. Gotta wait for the Zoomers to have kids, me think. Oh, wait. No. No, I do not hate. No hate. I'm just a normal person. I don't stay up till 4 a.m. anymore. It's wonderful. It feels wonderful. It feels wonderful, I'm not gonna lie. But oh, we gotta pan it a little bit more. I just don't know what to do, cause like, so there we go. So my backdrop or whatever is like bolted to the wall. Like it's in a stud so it doesn't fall down, because I was afraid Chloe and Hobart would knock over the bookshelves and then that would be a nightmare scenario, right? So I'm like, I don't really want to take it out if I'm gonna go back up there. But we might keep things down here because it's really nice actually. I don't have to go downstairs and upstairs to get water. I'll have to do a lot of things. It's wonderful. And it's not as hot. We'll see about the winter because it might be really fucking cold down here. I don't remember anything. Well, I do remember things, but I don't remember how it ended. I was supposed to play this like 2 weeks ago, that's why. Not yet? What do you mean not yet? What you mean? There should be some quick recap, I think. Okay. Do I just click continue? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens when we click continue. If anything, I can force quit. No. I was like, I remember that. So I think I have to select adventure, or is that what happens here? A little confusing. And it said 11:37. I couldn't remember what the second game was called. I didn't Google it before because I'm a silly little guy. Okay, that's not the way. Load game? Hmm. Oh, there's arrows there. There's arrows. There we go. There's arrows. I saw Bring Me the Horizon also. If you don't know, they're a British metal band, hardcore. So my British accent's gonna be probably even more unbearable because I'd heard British accent in the yelling. Oh, I forgot I gave them cute little clothes.
Standing here in the bright sunshine, looking out over the vast ocean. Those days in London
London.
seem like a dream. But I do miss my time in England's vast capital.
She's dressed like a London lady.
You know, he's flourished into a truly wonderful lawyer.
Her voice sounds deeper.
I've no
I don't remember
doubt
it sounding
that
like
at
this.
very moment,
Everyone
he's
says
fighting
that this
some
game is the
noble cause in court.
best. Funny, it's like out of the original trilogy.
Forgive me
One of the best.
for taking so long to come to visit you. My life has been such
Are
a
you fucking
whirlwind
kidding
since
me?
I returned. And no one could have predicted what has happened. Just 2 months after
He was
arriving
screaming,
home.
well, bestie. So I don't know. I thought the same thing though, because it's not the same.
So I came here today to ask something of you.
Something of
Tomorrow,
you.
I shall be standing in court for the only time in my life as a lawyer.
Oh!
So please, I ask for your
Oh.
guidance. Kazuma-sama,
She said that so fast. Have a good lurk, Chris. She said that so fast. Kazuma-sama. The Adventure of the Blossoming Attorney. What? It's the 13th of August. That's soon. That's real soon. Maya could never. Yeah, isn't Bring Me the Horizon's new stuff not hardcore? He was screaming, and there was a pit and a lot of white people with dreads. But what can you expect from rural Wisconsin? I'm gonna wait till like a week before Paramore before I buy Paramore tickets though, because I did enter a giveaway to win Fall Out Boy tickets in Boston because I deserve a full Fall Out Boy show. I didn't even finish the story. I only got Somerset, Wisconsin only got half the set list of Fall Out Boy because of the stupid fucking thunderstorm, and I didn't get my seats. But honestly, I kind of liked how chaotic it was. It kind of reminded me of going to see like a brand new band play live for the first time and it's like chaotic. I fucking love that. That's what it gave, and it's very special. As much as it kind of sucked at the same time, it's a very special show and I will remember it forever, but I'm never going back to Somerset, Wisconsin. It's gonna attract the weirdos but the hot people too. It's gonna be cool. A cool person complimented my tattoo, my shark with the cowboy hat, and then they showed me that they had a little, it wasn't like realistic like mine, but like a dinosaur, like an outline of a dinosaur with a bow tie, and I was like, I like this person. White dreads are part of the white people with dreads, man. It's like, oh god. And they were Bring Me the Horizon fans, and then there was like rednecks. I'm a country person. I grew up in the country. But I have never seen so many country folk love hardcore. Like I saw all sorts of like Bad Omens and like Sleep Token and Architects and all that shirts. And I was like, but they were rednecks. I don't know, you know the vibes. Yeah. Rednecks love metal. I guess they do. I just never really like the rednecks where I'm from don't, if that makes sense. But apparently they like the rednecks that were bad, like the rednecks that are racist, basically. It's where I come from. But like, I guess there were a lot of rednecks wearing like metalcore shirts, and I was like, wow, that's cool. Your freaking Pikmin tattoo, man! I'm obsessed with Pikmin Bloom. I'm gonna play the new Pikmin. I just don't know when. I don't got money for that because I have a Kindle now. I'm better than everyone. I got a Kindle. I'm just kidding. I don't like the idea that it's owned by Amazon, though. It has stressed me out that it's owned by Amazon, but I digress. This is also owned by Amazon. Anyways, it's the 13th of August at 8:30. It's Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendant's Antechamber 3. I should say 8:26 because time matters. Everyone's wearing their so I'm playing a Susato. Here I am again after 9 months. The Supreme Court of Judicature in Japan. I feel so nervous, but I must steel my nerves and find a way to compose myself. It's him. Ah, good, you're here. It doesn't do for a lawyer to be late. Oh, yes, good morning, sir. I hardly recognize you. You cut a fine figure, counsel. But you look as white as a sheet, and those wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either. Is it really this Friday? That's fucking insane. I would like to play. I'm like 1 and 2 being on the Switch. I'm waiting for a physical copy though, because I'd rather have the physical, and then obviously 3's already been on the Switch, but I want physical copies of all of them, so I gotta wait, because that's a lot of money. Oh dear. The truth is, I'm so incredibly nervous. I feel utterly nauseated. And also my thing is, if I play 4 before 1, 2, and 3, I'm gonna like the quality of life better of 4 and then not have that in 1, 2, and 3. That makes sense. Because that happens with every game I play. So I have to play the oldest one first. Because like right now, I'm playing Fire Emblem GBA. Man, it's kind of rough after knowing what Fire Emblem turns into. But at the same time, it's really charming, so I can get past it, I guess. The truth is, I'm so incredibly nervous, I feel utterly nauseated. I almost wish that I'd never been born. Girl, shh. I hope I beat it before Baldur's Gate 3. I've heard a lot of things about Baldur's Gate 3. I hope it's a really good game, because I'm interested. Goodness, not the sort of thing a father hopes to hear from his daughter, I must say. That's Dad. Yujin Mikotoba, professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University. A man who earlier in his life traveled to Great Britain to study the latest advances in forensic medical science. And of course, my brilliant father. Khan and peasant folks want to play Baldur's Gate, and I've heard it might fill the hole that Dragon Age has left in my life. I haven't looked super into it since the demo came out. It was like a demo or something? Man. I might have to... I don't know how I had my mic set up before. I kind of just brought everything down without taking a picture of before. I was like, I don't remember anything. Very that, what Bestie says. Well, it's like Dungeons and Dragons, right? I don't even know what it is besides people. I'm just like, will I like it? I need someone else who knows what kind of games that I like to say I like it. I don't know if I will. I am excited for Sea of Stars. That's like the one game I'm super excited for. I also want to play Story of Seasons. And obviously Pikmin. I want to play. Those are like kind of the games I want to play right now. So. But I'm broke right now, so. We gotta catch up on the money, and I was so broke that I couldn't buy merch at Fall Out Boy. So, what kind of fucking world do we live in that a t-shirt is $45 fucking dollars? I don't remember how much I spent on this. Don't worry about that. But this is from album release. But I was like, I don't have $45 right now, so I'm gonna have to wait a little bit. But they do sell the merch that they sell on tour online. So like until I get a little bit more money. It's just like Macklemore said. See, I didn't even need to see the demo to be sold. I'm like, I don't need to play that. I will just play the game when it comes out. I'm so fucking excited though. I'm like, I'm sold. Sea of Stars doesn't have to tell me anything. I'm sold. Excuse me. The only thing is I don't know which system to play it on. I think I'm gonna play it on my computer though. Is this who we're defending? Oh, is that me? Not the little brows and everything. She just needs glasses. That's me. Would I be correct in thinking that you're to be my lawyer in court today? Oh, yes, that's right, miss. Well, I want to thank you for agreeing to represent me. I swear on my life Her eyes are green though, I think. No, they're gray. It's a complete fabrication, this whole thing. Ray Membani. Ray Membami? Born the same year as I, and my greatest friend. Lesbians? Though unusual for a woman in our time, she works at the university research laboratory, helping my father. They gotta say unusual. Pun is remember me? I would have never gotten that. Greatest friend. I know. Sadly, she's the defendant in today's trial. What happened? Accused of committing a truly awful murder. I might have to go turn the fan on. They seem to be very good friends. Are you feeling alright? Since we started talking, you seem, well, to have become a little flushed. Oh my, it's just that you look so gallant and dashing. Sorry. And when I fall under your intense gaze, it makes me feel rather bashful. This is gay as fuck. You're kidding. Is she gonna die? I hope she doesn't die. Gay? Goodness, I know what. I don't think she knows. I don't think she knows what. She hasn't realized who I am. What is happening here? It would seem our little plan for this trial is gonna work. Oh, what? What do you mean, Professor Mikotoba? If even your best friend can't see through what is happening? If even your best friend can't see through the disguise, I think we can relax. Disguise? Yes, I've never tried dressing this way before, of course, so I wasn't sure how convincing it would be. But this does make me feel a little relieved, as you say, Father. Father? Gay. Ha ha, you like a woman. What? Is that you, Susato? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh no, what are you doing? What's going on? What? That varsity uniform, that varsity cap, that varsity cape, the varsity badge. Look at you. You look for all the world just like a student of the Imperial Yume University, a male student. She said you make like Kokuroko Toki. I'm so glad you think so. It means all my preparations have been worthwhile. I woke at 4 this morning to make a start. What does she look like? But I don't understand. Why are you dressed like that? Well, you see, it was the only way. The only way she would be permitted into the Supreme Court to take on your defense in this trial. My defense? What does she look like? Show me. Show me. Never before in my life oh my god. Never before in my life have I felt so frustrated at having been born into this body. I need an egg question mark. Emo. Well, I'll be. Courts in Japan are barred to women. We're not even allowed to set foot inside this courtroom. Or is it just hating the misogyny? It's really hard. I battled through that my whole like teenage life. Is it like do I hate being a woman because society makes me hate being born as a woman? Or do I actually just hate being born as a woman? You know, I get it. Despite the fact that the laws of the land apply to all people, male and female alike, it do be a little egg moment though. But women are forbidden. Just for today, I'll be leaving my true self at the courtroom door, so that I can act as your lawyer. I also got in-ear monitors, so hopefully, like, my head doesn't hurt from the headset, and I don't have a funny little indent. The miniskirt goes on over her male disguise in this. Oh, Susato, you go to such lengths for me. Of course, you're my greatest friend. Gay? Gay? I'm just worried that I shan't be the lawyer you deserve. Oh no, I have complete faith in you. She's kind of got like the non-binary colors. Kind of. Well, she just needs pink and then she has the gender fluid colors. Oh no, I have complete faith in you. Ray. It's so strange though. I mean, you're such an accomplished judicial assistant already, and yet, just because you're a woman, what a wretched reason. I mean, why shouldn't you be allowed in court? You're so gallant and dashing. Her eyes are like yellow-gray, but they're technically gray. Color theory is a strange thing. Ray, please don't look at me like that with those flushed cheeks and doting eyes. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just you look really you do look so dashing. Yes, you mentioned that once or twice. Wow, you should be pleased. It means you look convincing as a man. Or she's just attracted. Oh fuck, I have low battery. I actually don't know where the charger to this is. Hold on. Hold on. Yes. Alright, alright. Alright. Not a soaking clock. Not a soaking clock. I'm gonna go turn the fan on. It is a little toasty. Now with all the lights on and stuff. The ring light, this light, all the lights. Shouldn't pick up on the mic, I would hope so. Hope not, at least. Man, I can just go in the kitchen now and y'all can hear me. They match her kimono, both yellow. It's like a yellow overlaid gray. They were the gayest of friends. There's fan fiction of these two. I'm sure of it. I'm absolutely sure of it. I should have brought a clip. I'll be fine. I'm pleased, I think. It certainly helped to bolster my confidence today. We just established it's colorblind. For all I know, Tim sees it all as one color. One shade of yellow. I can see it's like yellow overlaid gray, but I think it's a color theory thing. Like when you place a color next to each other, it makes it look like a different color. Cause like if you put me in front of a white room, my eyes look gray, like light gray. But that's like a mirrored effect, I guess. She's got like yellow highlights, like the CD eyes, like Hoffer says, the CD eyes that I colored, very that. I do have new art posted also too. I drew Sholmes and I drew Megan Thee Stallion, real hot girl shit. I'm very proud of that one. I'm like really proud of that one. I saw Megan Thee Stallion post that picture and I was like, I have to draw it. She's so hot, I have to draw her. You're managing to put on a brave face and all this, but I can see through it. I noticed how your shoulders are slumped and how you're trembling ever so slightly. This sounds like a fucking lesbian romance novel. Susato. You do believe me, don't you? Molly, you should compare yourself to a roof. That's why when people like, I thought you were white, I'm like, I look half white. I don't look full white. Like you put me in a room of full white people, you think I blend in. I stuck out like a sore thumb in fucking rural Wisconsin, so I didn't do it. I couldn't have. I mean, murder. Of course. You have nothing to worry about. Your conscience is perfectly clean. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to look at the art design. Is there a book? I would love to buy a book. Isn't that right? Yes. Yes, it is. Perfectly clean. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind about your innocence, which is why I'll stand by you until the bitter end in this trial. Whatever happens, I'll always be on your side. Because that's what it means to be a defense lawyer. Not being gay. A defense lawyer. Oh, my watch is yelling at me to stand. She says stand. That means so much to me, Susato. Defendant, counsel, court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. There's a book. The bonus content in this game has some annotations from the book, but the full book has more. Is it expensive? Sometimes video game books are so expensive. I want it. Should go in at once, Ray. If you're late, the judge won't hesitate to pronounce you guilty. Oh. Stand aside! The bonus stuff has a lot of cool things. I can't wait to look. I don't think I've ever seen her run so fast. Well, Susato, you certainly surprised your father. Going to such lengths to be admitted into the courtroom and with no prior experience of being a lawyer. There was simply no other way, that's all there is to it. But father, you haven't told her, have you? I mean, I'm right in assuming that Ray doesn't know how it came to this. Yes, quite right. I've kept that information from her. It would only worry her if she found out that no other lawyer would agree to take her case. I didn't want to burden her with that. And it is true. And is it true? The reason why every other lawyer is refusing to take the case is really because of who the victim was. We should be making a move now, too. As you know, law isn't my field, but I do what I can to support my student. Thank you, Father. Wasn't me. Most of the concept art and the bonus contents from the book, but there's like additional creator commentary. See, that's what I want. I'm Susato Mikatoba, a judicial assistant. 8 months ago, I accompanied a student of law on a study trip to Great Britain. Then he fucking died. But 2 months ago, due to unforeseen circumstances, I found myself back in Japan. Oh, his little outfit. Oh, he's so cute. That means we have to draw a new Ryunosuke Molly. Should Molly be in Gremlin Molly? Should Molly be in Ryunosuke's outfit or Susato's outfit? How many times have I wished that he were here, I wonder? Still, I have no choice but to steel myself for the trial ahead. Wish me luck, Naruhodo. Naruhodo-san. Alright, let's jump in. Give me a refresher. Yeah, it's 9 AM now. Oh, her hair's so cute. I think that's the only good one. Do you like steampunk design? Because they kind of give off a steampunk design. This court is now in session to hear the trial of Ray Remember Me. Susato's... Okay, should I switch? Okay, hold on. I do want to see it. I guess we'll save it in this slot. Oh, it gives me a second chance to save, thank God. Oh, the AC just turned on, thank God. Okay, options. Let's see. Special contents, JK. Let's see. Then Taylor. Okay, I have to see a funny outfit. No girls allowed, but she's in a skirt. You would think they would like change it though. That's interesting. Okay, let's hope. Oh, I kind of like the girly outfit though. Ray really thought that was not her best friend. She really thought. Like, Ray, be fucking for real, dude. Defense counsel, are you ready? Yes, Your Excellency. Ready? Oh my God, I can't believe this. I didn't think we would get Susato as the lawyer. According to your registration details, your name is Ryutaro Naruhodo. Ryutaro. Is that correct? Sorry? Yes, I had to come up with a suitable male name for you for this little venture. I'm afraid to say I simply put down the first name that sprang to mind. Well, Well, yes, that's right. That's me. Yes, I am Ryutaro, he who has vowed to uphold the pride of the great Naruhodo clan. Ah, it seems Ryutaro may need to consider how better to uphold his manly act first and not overdo it. Those wild, wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either. Just relax. Listen. Naruhodo. Fresh face in this courtroom, if I'm not mistaken. But the name Naruhodo, would that perchance be... You may be thinking of Ryunosuke, currently in Britain, as part of a study program. This is, his cousin. That's right, Ryutaro has been studying in the provinces but was called to the capital for this trial. I assure you, in matters of law, his knowledge rivals that of any Tokyo's preeminent lawyers. Any of them. What a pitiful situation. Having been rejected by every lawyer in the capital, the accused has had to call in a country boy. How dare you! Susato is every bit as gallant and dashing as any of your Tokyo attorneys. I won't have you making fun of her. Her? Please be careful, Ray. Country boy, I love you. I had a fan like this at the wedding I went to. Mind you, I was wearing heels that are demonia. Thank you for the 14 months on a 13-month streak. Thank you, puppy. My laptop may have taken an hour to turn on. It's the planets are being mean, I think, today. They're kind of being a little mean to everything. I don't know if y'all saw, I don't know if anyone cares, but did y'all see that Ariani is getting a divorce? I was like, Venus retrograde. What an unrefined tomboy we have here. What was I saying? Oh, anyways, I was wearing the Demonia platform heels and my feet hurt so bad, and I don't think I have what it takes to be a bad bitch. But I look good. But I had a fan like this and it fucking saved me, and so now I need to buy fans like this to really be like gay. I didn't know she was with someone. A lot of people didn't know. A lot of people didn't know. Her wedding dress is kind of what I would want if I were to get to wedding dress. It's classic. It was very like, it was satin, it was classic. It was cute. Her shoes were cute. If I'm gonna get a wedding dress, we'll see. But I wonder, is your gallant and dashing lawyer up to the challenge of defending you? His wide, skittish eyes very much suggest that he is not. I'm so nervous. Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand what Naruhodo-san goes through. Stage fright. Like it or not, eyes... Why are her eyes so blurry, though? Like it or not, eyes are wont to flit. Like it or not, eyes are wont to flit? Is want a word? What is that? That sentence doesn't make sense. The case to be heard on this day is a matter of great significance to our... Want is a word. Shut up. Wow. Me reading books and I've never seen that word. I don't think. I always wonder why I never like autocorrect sometimes. The case to be heard on this day is a matter of great significance to our national interest. In fact, it would be reasonable to assume that the outcome of this trial may well affect the very future of our empire. We had the same convo. God, I don't remember shit then. Look, I'm working on it. Just like the trial 9 months ago. Yet for proceedings of such importance, we have this unknown yokel by the dock. Dear me. Perhaps this would be an appropriate moment for me to assess the defense. To determine whether you are sufficiently competent to practice in this courtroom. Practice spelled with an S. 9 months ago, when a certain other Naruhodo stood where you're standing now. That was, Iris's, dad, right? That died? The same judge tested him as well. And even though he was just a student at the time, not even of law, he passed the test with flying colors. For a trained and experienced judicial assistant like you, this will be easy. So, counsel, do you consent to answering some simple questions? Okay, I love this. I do love this. My Roku just turned on. Why? Why did it do that? Alright, it's time to prove myself. Is Hobart on the table? Oh. Interesting. Yes, Your Excellency, but please do make them simple. Very well, to start with, you will state the name of the victim. I don't remember. 1800s, right? That is simple. 1895. There we go. POV. I uploaded a TikTok of Fall Out Boy playing Fame Infamy, and I guess that probably means nothing to casual listeners, but to like diehard fans, it means like everything. But it's really funny because I literally ferally screamed, and it ruined the video. But it's funny to me, so I posted it. So. And then the girl scratched me. She's like, "I'm sorry, I scratched you." I'm like, "Bitch, I originally listened to hardcore. We just saw Bring Me the Horizon. You, like, I'm fine." Like, ew, that is simple. I couldn't forget that if I tried. What's the matter? Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand something else Naruhodo-san goes through. Like, I've been to Warped Tour 5 times. Like, not 5 times. I think it's been 3 times. But, it's hot outside and people are still kicking each other in the head. Like, I'm fine. Hi, Hoffer! How are you? Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand something else Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not, mines are, well, to blame. She really is testing my knowledge of this word. It's not surprising, really. It's your first time in this position and in that guise. Even a bright spark like you is bound to flicker and falter a little under the circumstances. Oh dear, this is a dismal failure. Don't fret, you need only use the knowledge you've gained as a judicial assistant to overcome the problem. Of course, the court record. Yes, the answer will be amongst all the key information about the case in the court record. That's right, just use R. I remember. And then you need to flip to the people section. Don't take too long. His Excellency is watching you closely. Well, let me press R. All right, check the court record with R. Thank you. Victim is Giselle Brett. She's female. She's British. She died 2 days before at around 2 p.m. There were witnesses and examination. Single deep stab wound from behind, piercing a lung and resulting in a fatal hemorrhage. Death would have occurred within minutes. Yeah, getting stabbed in the lungs is not good. Extreme meiosis, pupil constriction was observed. Extreme meiosis. Pupil constriction was observed in the victim in both eyes. What does that mean? Yuji Mikotobo, a medical school professor at Imperial Yume. He is an authority in forensic medicine in charge of the university's laboratory. He also happens to be my father. Raymond, she's 16? Well, damn. My best friend who works as an assistant to my father in his laboratory at the Imperial Yume University. She's the defendant in this case. The victim of the case, who was a former British exchange student, 9 months ago, she was found guilty of the murder of visiting Professor Dr. John Wilson. And that's him. What was the question? I'm waiting, counsel. What is the name of the victim? Giselle Brett.
Yes!
So delicate. The name of the victim who lost her life in this case is Miss Giselle Brett. What if I answered wrong? Giselle Brett. A name that will never be forgotten in the courtrooms of our country, I'm sure. Correct. And being a member of our empire's judiciary, you will be well aware of the significance of that name. So, let me pose another simple question. As you know, Miss Brett was a visiting student from the Empire of Great Britain. Why then is her name indelibly associated with our own empire's judicial history? Well, she murdered Mr. Wilson. Obviously, you will have forgotten that case from 9 months ago. But if it's proving hard to recall the finer points, everything you need is included in the court record. Obviously, I still remember. That was the start of everything. Giselle Brett. Behind the woman student persona was the face of a killer. Yes.
Yes!
9 months ago, a visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University was killed, and the culprit was Giselle Brett. Yes, she was a killer. At the time, our country had just signed a new treaty. Oops, I didn't mean to press that. New treaty with the Empire of Great Britain, and it was in the midst of this delicate diplomatic. It was in the midst of this delicate diplomatic situation that the incident occurred. The incident. An Englishman, Dr. John H. Wilson, was shot dead. But he wasn't, right? I believe he was an associate of yours. Didn't he die from poisoning? Yes, I was indebted to the man. He'd been my mentor when I went to London to study forensic medicine. Indeed, it was I who invited him here to Japan as a visiting professor at the university. Naturally, the murder of an Englishman on our soil was a matter the government wished to resolve rapidly. Indeed it was, which is why a secret trial was conducted here at the Supreme Court. A student of the Imperial Yume University was arrested on suspicion of murder. Second-year English language student by the name of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. We're getting a rundown. With the help of his best friend, a student lawyer, the accused conducted his own defense and exposed the despicable crime committed by Miss Giselle Brett. Miss Brett eventually admitted to her crime. However, when questioned about the motive that drove her to take Dr. Wilson's life, she gave no satisfactory answer before the trial reached its conclusion. Immediately after the trial, the British government brought its consular jurisdiction into play. We were unable to sentence Miss Brett according to our empire's laws. It was decided that she would be removed to Shanghai, China instead. Why? There's a British consular court there. Okay. Correct. I oversaw the negotiations personally. The date of her transfer to Shanghai was finally settled upon only last week. All that remained of our empire's obligations was to see the woman safely on board a steamship. But she didn't make it. Yet the very day before her departure, the English woman was killed. Only the day before. Mama. You're getting Vietnamese food. Ooh, what? Like, what specifically? I haven't had Vietnamese food in a little bit. It's not really pho weather outside, though. There's more than just pho, though. That will do. I am satisfied that the counsel for the defense is sufficiently capable of representing the defendant. Oh. Thank you, Your Excellency, over the first hurdle. Now, a summary of the incident, if you please. Prosecutor Achi? I feel like my hair lost its volume. I didn't use any hairspray, though, to be fair. As is your wish, Your Excellency. I've never known how to say this word. The repugnant crime took place on the 11th of August in broad daylight. I always read it and never know how to say it. Oh, the art is so pretty. On the outskirts of the imperial capital, under a bright blue sky, at a secluded bathing spot by the sea. The incident occurred inside a small beach hut erected for bathers to rest or change their clothes. This looks like kind of like in Dragon Quest. I don't know if I'm making sense. It's purpose. The incident occurred there. You got it. The cause of death was a single stab wound to the posterior abdomen that pierced the victim's lung. She just really wore that hat everywhere, huh? An injury which proved fatal. There were two persons alone together in the beach hut at the time of the victim's death. Miss Brett in her bathing attire. She wearing that hat to go to the beach. I guess it blocks the sun. Maybe she's on something. And the accused, remember me. Accordingly, there can be no doubt of the accused's guilt, especially when we consider she had a powerful motive. The police arrived rapidly at the scene and promptly arrested the young lady. Well, that extraordinary description of events leaves me somewhat lost for words, I must say. That's certainly true. The prosecution summary was full of words that raise an awful lot of questions. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel what he said about a powerful motive, I would think. You're clearly exaggerating. Powerful motive is a blatant overstatement. Thank you for the hydrate, Ina. I was just looking out the water thinking about it. I was thinking about it. Oh my gosh. You reminded me I need to go get the treats over. Yeah. So while I'm stretching, I'll stretch while I go get... I have Hobart's. I don't have Chloe's though. But I have... Yeah. Here's Hobart's. But let me go get Chloe's. Yeah. Thank you for the care package. Alright. Let me go get hers. Alright. Hobart sounds like a brand of treat. We could make Hobart brand treats. If a company ever wants to work with me for that. Alright, she's got her gingerbread man. Gingerbread man treats. Here you go. Hobart, you want some? So they kind of go back here, but not really. I don't want to show off too much. I really want to get a cat named Meow. 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 That's what Hobart sounds like. He doesn't meow. He goes meh. I love having a cat. I love cats. I love dogs. I love cute little animals. We went for a walk with Chloe and Hobart like recently, and we were like pushing Hobart in his stroller or whatever, right? And it was like an early morning walk, and this girl walked by us, or like she was like coming towards us, and she also had a stroller, but it was obviously there's no baby in it. It was more like those like strollers that like an old school stroller, almost like a wagon stroller. Does that make sense? And we walked by it, and I was too short to see anything. Love that. Like, cause all I could see was the wall of the stroller. But Jeremy saw what was inside that stroller, and it was 2 guinea pigs. She was walking with her 2 guinea pigs outside. So I don't know, I was obsessed with that. I was like, I bet she was like so happy that someone else was walking a weird animal that you don't normally walk, like a cat, outside, but it was cute. It was really cute. I was surprised she was allowed to walk by herself though, because she seemed kind of young, but it was Juju. Get this ugly ass haircut. Look, he's trying his best. He doesn't want to let go that he's balding yet. Is the Yoko boy using long words he doesn't fully understand? What does that insult mean? I beg your pardon. Sometimes I wish it autoed, but if it autoed, I would never go on my little tangents. No matter, let us put this to the accused, shall we? Membami-san, you are Membami. Son, you're a research assistant at the Imperial Yume University, I believe. Yes, I'm working with Professor Mikotoba in his laboratory at the moment. I can confirm that. The defendant is an excellent assistant with a strong sense of responsibility. Egg. Egg confirmed. We're all just calling Susanoo an egg now. Even in game. Country bumpkin? Gotcha. Fascinating to hear. Now another question. Prior to your work with Professor Mikatova, whose research were you assisting then? Well, I was studying under Dr. John H. Wilson. Dr. Wilson, the visiting English professor who was murdered by Miss Brett 9 months ago? The accused has had a deep-seated respect for her former mentor, Dr. Wilson. Is that not true? Yes, Dr. Wilson was a wonderful man. Interesting. Then tell the court what deep-seated feelings you had towards the Englishman or Englishwoman who killed him. Well, obviously, I was filled with hatred for what she'd done. A powerful hatred. Oh no, Ray, be careful what you're saying. The motive was revenge. Plain and simple, Your Excellency. Well, it was clearly a trap all along. How wicked— she is 16. How wicked of him to use Ray's undying respect for her former mentor against her like that. I must find more details, and something we can use to bolster our defense. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution on what he said. The bathing spot? Being alone together. Mbami-san. Yes, what is it? I mean, Naruhodo-san. I'm really starting to wish we made my Elias Ryotaro, Susato. That would make a lot more sense, actually. Please tell the court why exactly you were present at the bathing spot with the victim in the first place. And why you were alone with her. Oh, well, no, that's not true. I wasn't like that at all. There were other people present, a detective who was guarding Miss Brett for starters. I was just asked to accompany Miss Brett as a companion, that's all. You're Elias from the Magnus Arcade? I don't know that reference. I don't know it. But let us be clear. At the moment of her death, you were alone together with the victim in the hut. You and no one else. The truth is... Sorry, I was trying to... I was trying to decipher that language spoken. I don't know anything about it. I have to look into it. The truth is, there's only one reason why this young woman accompanied Miss Brett on her bathing sojourn. It was the accused's last chance to take the victim's life. No. Because, as we know, the following day would see Miss Brett extradited to the British authorities in Shanghai. And the accused would never have an opportunity to dispatch her again. It's spooky. Oh, maybe I should stay away from it. Kindly refrain from conjecture, counsel. The prosecution counsel seems to enjoy using provocative tricks like that. But for now, at least we need to assemble more facts. Try not to let him goad you. I love that, Juju. Sometimes you never do something and then you just keep playing. Or like, not playing, but like you don't do it, but you... Not playing, but like are in the fandom somehow. That was like Overwatch for me. Before Blizzard showed its ass. But for now, at least we need you to assemble more facts, trying to not let him goad you. I feel you. I feel you. But for now, at least we need to assemble more facts. Try not to let him goad you. Oh dear, this is really terrifying, but Father's right. We need more information. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution's counsel what he said about the bathing spot. The worms? Would you still love me if I was a worm? If I may, Prosecutor Ouchie. I'm trying to figure out what's the best spot for my mic. I might have to put it back on the left side. What do you want, you fresh-faced young yokel student? I wonder, could you explain, please? You mentioned a bathing spot. Ooh, worms? I don't know. I don't know about worms. My apologies. Clearly, my modernity has confused the poor country's bumpkin simple mind. Only one of my flowers while I was gone in Texas survived, and it became big. Big flower. But there's other plants growing in there that are not my flower. And I'm like, do I pull them up, or do I just see what they turn into? Tokyo Mew Mew. Tokyo Mew Mew mentioned. I haven't seen the new one. Some body horror bugs that might be a bit. Yeah, that's gross. I can't do that. I'm good, actually. My apologies. Clearly, my modernity has confused the poor country bumpkin's simple mind. Why are you calling me a country bumpkin? Bathing spots are the very latest trend in health practices from the West. Because it cures craziness back then. We were told that the bathing in the water of the ocean is curative, therapeutic, and excellent for the skins. They would even argue that now. No, that's not what I meant. I was referring to the fact that Miss Brett had, to all intents and purposes, been found guilty of murder. Why would a known criminal have been relaxing by the sea? For old time's sake, I believe. Sorry. Miss Brett was to depart for Shanghai the following day. Her final wish, as it were, was to enjoy a day at our country's wonderful coast. And the British Embassy puts extreme pressure on our government to comply. But on what grounds would we agree to such a request? Because, as usual, our government is unable to stand up to foreign powers. In matters of diplomacy, it seems we don't even have the courage to decline the whims of a known criminal. Don't look at me, Professor. It was the government who granted permission, not I. In any case, it was decided that with a dedicated detective on duty, nothing could go wrong. But in fact, a murder took place. I said, don't look at me! It was that young student girl who did it, not I. No one has proved that yet. I wouldn't provoke the man if you don't need to. I believe we all have a clear picture of the incident now. Despite her guilt being determined 9 months ago, Miss Brett managed to avoid incarceration, instead continuing her research work at the university. Obviously, over that period, she and Ray would have encountered each other on a number of occasions. Seeing the murder of the mentor for whom she had such great respect, enjoying such undeserved liberty. Yes, even if it was only temporary until Miss Brett's I just had it earlier. Extradition to Shanghai. You can hardly blame Ray for her feelings of anger and resentment. Poor Ray. So, Your Excellency, if you'd be so kind as to peruse this exhibit. A photographic print that shows the scene of the crime immediately following the grim incident. Okay. Thank you, Counsel. A tragic image. As you can clearly see, there is nowhere within the hut that anyone could have hidden. I want to look at this. The court will accept this photographic print as evidence. A photographic print of the scene taken by police just after the incident occurred. The stab wound in the victim's back is clearly visible. Let's look at it. Turn on the magnifying glass. Let's see what we got here. She's got a pen in her hand. Wine glass spilled. Wine bottle on the ground. Got a stool. Feet. Sandals. Mask. Her suitcase. More mask. She has a plethora of masks. A purse. There's a lot of footsteps. Okay, we're good. As I understand it, then the victim and the defendant were alone inside the beach hut at the time. This is deeply troubling, I must say. The finger of guilt points firmly at the defendant. Well, Your Excellency, naturally the prosecution has much more to its case. We intend to prove the accused appalling actions beyond all possible contention. To that end, I can confirm that we have multiple witnesses to the crime and damning evidence. We love anonymity. Yeah. Witnesses? But who? One of whom I might add is a highly respected police detective. Anonymity. I assure you the testimony of these witnesses will leave no room for doubt. Ugh. Very well then, counsel, bring forth your witnesses. I, Takatsuchi Achi, have been waiting for this moment. What? Oh yes, I haven't forgotten that trial 9 months ago here in this very courtroom when that irreverent little student boy utterly humiliated me. Boo boo boo. Oh, his hair was shorter. Ryunosuke Naruto! Well, yes, he wasn't wearing that. This insult to the Achi family name will never be forgotten. You become conceited with age, counsel, but the old have to stand and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. Oh, I forgot about that. Strike the head of a samurai whose top knot has been cut and the bell of a cultural enlightenment tolls. Yes, on that fateful day, my former self died. The start of your own mini Meiji revolution. Are you modernizing as well, counsel? Silence! Since I swore revenge back then, there has been a minor miracle atop my head. Observe the Achi growth. You see the seed of hope sprouting forth from the barren expanse of my crown? Hi, how are you? Thank you for the follow. I think that tiny growth is trying to tell me something. It's speaking to me. It's got a life of its own. I'm afraid I can't really see where's the hope exactly. Need a little drink of water. I might have to move this closer, actually. Yeah, it's fine. My desk is kind of crappy. I'm afraid I can't really see where's the hope exactly. I said silence. The day I face another yokel student of the Naruhodo clan, well, I will vanquish you. Is Ryunosuke a country bumpkin? Should I been speaking in a country voice this whole time? And my victory will be fertilizer for the seed of hope atop my head. You have been warned. With that, the prosecution calls the witnesses to the stand. It looks like the stakes are high on both sides in this trial. The prosecution and defense each has much to lose. Oh, okay. He's just like, well, I guess the Naruhodos are country people. A haircut is hardly comparable to Rei's life. Oh. Oh. Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court. Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Imperial Police Bureau. I'm in disguise, obviously, so I can go undetected. And I am, well, the next big thing in books, an author renowned throughout the capital, in fact. Yes. Soon to be sold out, the satirical I Am a Cat, a sensational success by Soseki Natsume. I've got a photographer, too. Oh my goodness. Struggling student from the provinces, please, you needn't be in awe of me. I needn't? It's only natural that you feel nervous in my presence, but all of you, please relax. Call me Soseki, even. Yes. What on earth is Soseki-san doing here? Tread carefully, Suzato. That author fellow knows you from your time in London, doesn't he? If he exposes you for you really are, this will be over before it's begun. The turtle. Yes, of course, I know. I presume Soseki-san won't have forgotten about me. I could certainly never forget him. Although he does seem to have changed somewhat in the 6 months or so that it's been since I last saw him. He's a star now. And as for Inspector Hosonaga, that amazing outfit is hard to believe. Do I have something on my face? Well, your glasses for one, although they don't seem to be helping you see. Thank goodness he hasn't recognized me either. I suppose it's this disguise, is it? Is it like a rope around his head holding the turtle? I'm so confused. I thought that appearing here in the clothes I was wearing at the time would make for a more faithful testimony. It is my guiding principle to carry out all the testimonies flawlessly. Gotta get my Vietnamese food. Have a fun time. That sounds good. Ooh. I kind of want some now. I really like Vietnamese egg rolls. I don't know what it is about theirs, but it's pretty good. While I can appreciate why an Imperial Police Bureau detective might have been present, what business did a writer such as yourself have being at the scene, Soseki-san? Well, you see, I had been asked that day to give a lecture on the morning of the incident in the Imperial Yume University's Grand Lecture Hall, no less. At Yume? After the lecture, I had a very pleasant conversation with a researcher from the medical science department. The professor over there, in fact. With Professor Mikotoba. Yes, that's right. It was arranged by one of the newspapers. They wanted some story or other about two former students who studied in Great Britain. Of course, being a renowned author, the press never left me alone. They secretly spy, snapshots, scribble stories, and scupper my privacy. As you can see, the conversation was written up in this newspaper here. Read it at your leisure, my provincial struggling student friend. I have plenty of copies. Thank you. You practically threw that paper at me. Sorry. A newspaper containing an article about a discussion between my father and Soseki-san. The debate became quite spirited. Let's read it. Let's look at it. Kitty. That's not Wagahai, though. So why is this gonna come up? Why is this gonna come up? I can't read Japanese. Huh, okay. Anyway, following my interview with the professor, the lady in question appeared and made a very unexpected announcement. I should like to go with everyone to your country's coast. Those were her words. As I explained before, Miss Brett was never taken into custody. She continued to work in my laboratory under strict surveillance, of course. At which utterance, the university immediately contacted the government to seek guidance. And the response was, permit Miss Brett to go as long as a detective accompanies her. That detective, I am at liberty to divulge, was me, Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga. Thereby, the entire party departed cordially for the seaside, it seems. It was extremely challenging to clear all other members of the public from the vicinity of the beach. Are you still bleeding? But fortunately, I am at peak physical fitness at the moment, so... As you know, I was able to carry out my duty flawlessly. He looks like a Jigglypuff little... Oh my Inspector, you do have something on your face now. Shit. It is a rope. Oh, how unsightly. I do apologize. Does that mean that you went to the beach too, Father? No. Fortunately, I had work to finish off. But unfortunately, of course, it meant that as my assistant, Ray was invited to take my place. Of course, being a renowned author, I didn't like to decline the invitation. But only if I had, I'd never seen that awful sight. Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret. Very well. I must now ask you to present your formal testimony to the court. You will give an account of all that you witnessed on your impromptu excursion to the coast. Sir, you should get that looked at. Of course, Your Excellency. If they even have the healthcare in the 1895. Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret, I am... Is it raining? Oh, you did. Is it monsoon season? Maybe. Maybe. But that also probably would mean it's scary outside, so I don't know. It's monkey paw situation. On the day of the incident, I was ordered on a special surveillance assignment in this disguise. I just managed to catch that crab when I suddenly heard a caterwaul from behind me. I ran into the beach hut at once, where I found the pair in question. Yes, 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 that young girl was astride the Englishwoman, dagger in hand, as she stabbed wildly. I saw blood on the blade. It proved to me that she'd stabbed the victim multiple times. I don't think my driver should physically be driving right now. Between the wind and the rain, you won't have traction. Yeah, it's not really that safe. The fact that you are open for delivery is wild. Indeed, it does appear from this testimony that both witnesses here present saw it. The very moment of this heinous crime. I have the right to press. Now, if you recall, I promised evidence as well. What phrase did I use again? Yes, that was it. Damning evidence? What have you there, counsel? The so-called fountain pen, is it? Correct, Your Excellency. I found it at the scene whilst examining the body. Appears that in her dying moments with her final ounce of strength, the victim clutched a piece of evidence that would positively identify her killer. What? Your Excellency, if you would cast your eyes over the photographic print of the crime scene once more. Ah, goodness me. The victim is clearly grasping something quite deliberately there in her hand. That's right, the fountain pen. And if you would kindly examine the pen, Your Excellency. Ah, the owner's initials have been engraved into the ebonite barrel. Ray Mbami. The initials of the defendant. No. Got a little outfit on. What? Charger yet pushed out of his parking spot. Oh, what? Okay, what? I can't believe you're at work right now. If it's like that. This fountain pen will be omitted immediately as critical evidence. So just everyone has their pin with their name on it. So have I omitted anything? Decisive testimony and damning evidence. There's a bright blue sky outside the courthouse today. Perfect weather to describe guilt, I feel. I don't understand. The prosecutor ought 9 months ago had none of this man's poise. Counsel for the defense, you may begin your cross-examination now. Ye old magi. Naruhodo-san. Naruhodo. That means... Oh, yes. Me. Is there another Naruhodo in my courtroom? Actually, there's not even a single Naruhodo in your courtroom. Cousin Ryutaro, pull yourself together, please. Oops. Naruto. She Googled Naruto for me. Alright, I've seen this countless times as judicial assistant. Find inconsistencies and yeah. That's all there is to it. That's how a real lawyer would. So let's see what I can do. Let me press. On the day of the incident, I was ordered a special surveillance assignment in disguise.
Hold it!
Hold it. In that jaunty disguise? Correct. Wait, no. I mean, it wasn't the first time I've worn the swimsuit for a dip in the ocean. It's tried and tested. Do what must be done to keep the Englishwoman under surveillance. Those are my orders that day. And this tried and tested outfit was the answer? Being able to blend flawlessly into a crowd is an important part of a detective's job. You're kidding. You're joking. I've submerged myself in the salty water, leaving only Mr. Turtle floating inconspicuously on the surface. You're kidding me. Mr. Turtle loves the water. But there was no need for you to blend into the background on this assignment, was there? has made you late arriving on the scene, I think. Perhaps you had your priorities wrong. Perhaps I shouldn't pursue this line of questioning any further at the moment. I just managed to catch that crab when I suddenly heard a caterwaul from behind me.
Hold it!
You're describing the victim's scream, presumably, Suzeki-san. In more literary terms, you might say it was a scream that could have pierced the heavens. Yeah! Or the like. Of course, that's just a metaphor. We renowned authors aren't wont to... We got want 3 times today. Are wont to describing things, so... Seki-san wasn't at all like this in England. Anyway, I spun around at the noise and the beach hut immediately fell under my gaze. Yes, the beach hut. The area is popular with government ministers. Many have seaside retreats there for rest and recuperation. Okay, well, locals are prohibited from entering the area, so it's always very quiet. The beach hut is simple structure, erected as a place for people to change or take refuge from the sun. They don't let locals just sit and hang out in there. That's so mean. Although the Englishwoman commandeered the hut for herself, which meant that I was forced to change into my swimwear on the sand. I imagine that was rather embarrassing for you. Well, anyway, I tossed the crab aside and headed for the beach hut at a run. Or in more literary terms, I decrabbed and beetled off hut-wise. He's got a little pose there. I ran into the beach hut at once, where I found the pair in question.
Hold it!
Well, wait, by pair, you don't mean to say... How could that be? No, you misunderstood. Obviously, I mean the victim and the defendant. Remember me, son. It would have been helpful if you could have just, said that. If you jump to conclusions, you have to expect to fall flat on your face sometimes. Dear me, pinning your hopes on such an outside chance. Foolish. Very foolish. Really was an outside chance. I just wish I'd realized that before I said something silly. I don't blame you. I don't blame your coworkers for yelling at a manager. That's good. So, Inspector, why don't you tell the court how exactly you found the aforementioned pair in the hut? Well, it was a sorry sight, a really grisly scene. I parted the Norrin curtain hanging in the doorway and stepped inside only to see the defendant leaning menacingly over the lifeless body of the victim sprawled on the sand. The turtle head shaking. My glasses very nearly cracked the ominous sight that met my eyes. How thoroughly appalling. He doesn't appear to be lying. Well, Suzeki-san, can you confirm what Inspector Hosonaga is saying? You'd like a literary man's opinion? Yes, that young girl is astride the Englishwoman, dagger in hand, as she stabbed wildly.
Hold it!
Stabbed wildly. You actually saw her? Oh, indeed. The terrible spectre, the terrapin inspector, the bloody torrent, the author's torment. Every sight and every sound is still carved in my melancholy memory. That was my impression, at least. As a future literary sensation. Counsel, what on earth was that shrill, effeminate scream? Leave him alone. Oh, no. No, what are you insinuating? I'm as manly as a Japanese man as you. So his thing is just freeform word association. We love it. He's playing... I don't know a word game that does that. I wonder if I might interject here, Suzeki-san. Something you said is troubling me. That was my impression, were your words just now, I believe. These little face movements. So do you mean to say you're not confident that you really did see what you've been described? Who are you talking to? No, I mean, yes. I mean, I know what I saw. My ears didn't deceive me when I heard that scream, hence my eyes didn't deceive me either. I could describe everything I saw vividly. I could publish it all in tomorrow's newspaper serial. Oh, really? Do we have evidence, though? Oh, I bet he says the stab wasn't a certain body part, but it doesn't match up. It sounds as though the next installment of I Am a Cat may take a macabre turn. I think this is a fool's errand. The more we press your author friend on what he saw, the more entrenched he's gonna become. Oh dear, how awkward. I saw blood in the blade. It proved to me that she'd been stabbed the victim multiple times.
Hold it!
She was stabbed multiple times. How can you be sure of that? I think... Does this say multiple times? Single, yeah. She was stabbed multiple times. How can you be sure of that? Very simply, from the blood on the blade. The blood. When I entered the hut, I saw the defendant holding the blade raised up in the air. Yes, that's right. I saw it too. And I noted that there was blood on the blade already at that point. Sorry. I'm sliding down. In other words, the victim had already been stabbed at least once by the time I arrived on the scene. Yes, that's right. I saw it too. And the victim was already holding the defendant's fountain pen in her hand too. All of which means I can be sure the victim did not die instantly. Well, I believe she did. Or really close to it. Within minutes, okay. Yes, right. Saw it too. Maybe a year in London was too much for him. He sounds like he's forgotten how to speak Japanese. The logic of your argument is sound. Well, as I said, it is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly. Perhaps it should have been your guiding principle to protect the victim flawlessly. That's just my personal opinion, of course. Sassy. Suzato, a little sassy. Counsel, you will refrain from mocking the witness. Oh no, I just have so many thoughts whirling around in my head. It's all I can do to stand here, wide-eyed and mute. Goodness, my dear, you really must try to calm down. How am I supposed to find an inconsistency in what these two gentlemen are saying? I don't see why either of them would have any reason to lie. What you must remember, I think, is that the witnesses may inadvertently lie at times. For various reasons, a misunderstanding, a mistaken observation, a delusion even. A delusion. What's important is that we determine the truth, and there's only one sure way to do that. With evidence, of course. Spoken like a true judicial assistant. During witness testimony, you can use R to pick a piece. Yep. So you need to listen carefully. Yep. Okay, yep. I know how to play the game. Alright then. It's the last statement. Alright. That's the last one, I believe. Fuck. I pressed too much. I pressed too much. Hold on. Not me being antsy. Yeah. This is a long one too. Oh my gosh, I'm a silly goose. Silly goose moment. Okay. We'll go. Okay. So blood proved to me that she'd been stabbed the victim multiple times. We're gonna present the autopsy report, I believe. Objection! With that accusatory cry that just welled up from deep inside me, I think I finally understand. Every time Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo-san have stood here at this bench, the stakes have been very high indeed. What's the meaning of that menacing pose, Counsel? I'd like to witness to clarify something. Who? What? Where? When? Why? How? Not you, Suzaki-san. This query is directed at Inspector Hosonaga. And me. In your statement just now, you said that the victim was stabbed multiple times. Yes, that's right. As I said, when I entered the hut, the defendant was already standing over the victim, bloody knife in hand like a murderous demon. Her theme is pretty good. And yet, that cannot be. What? Get to the point, please, counsel. In the post-mortem report, it clearly states that the victim was stabbed 1 time. Oh. Oh. In other words, Inspector Hosanaga's testimony is a lie. It's clearly flawed. I guess the lie is pretty strong. And Suzeki-san, me? You claim to have seen Mabani-san in the throes of stabbing the victim. Yes, I did, wildly. But both you and the inspector confirmed the same point, that there was already blood on the knife that you saw the defendant holding. Yes, and it's quite simple. We only know the murder weapon was used to stab the victim once. Therefore, there's no way there could have been blood on the knife if that single stabbing hadn't already occurred. Oh, true. Then what exactly is your contention, counsel? Are you ever going to tell us? Yes, Your Excellency. There's only one logical conclusion. That Suzeki-san in fact saw, and what Suzeki-san in fact saw was not the moment that the defendant stabbed the victim at all, but the moment that the defendant in fact withdrew the blade from the victim's body. That can't be! I think I need to turn up my sound a little louder. There we go. Excellent work, Suzato. You exploded at them with objection and then proceeded to pull them apart systematically. Objection! Well, okay, what you got? Well, this takes me back. Yes, I seem to remember your cousin staged a scene much like this in the trial 9 months ago. A half-witted child with a half-baked objection, attempting to steal the show. But you're right, there were certain similarities. Except that so-called half-witted child managed to outwit the prosecution, who was only half a head of hair. Slander! My head is quite adequately dressed. In any case, all this talk of stabbing and withdrawing and multiple wounds, it makes not a jot of difference. What? Why not? Engage your brain, young man. When the accused first plunged the deadly weapon into the victim, that was the fatal blow. And it was that moment, just as she had withdrawn the blade ready for her next strike, that the witnesses saw the knife was already tainted with blood because the accused had already stabbed the victim. All you have successfully shown with your little display is that the mustached author is prone to moments of extravagance. Sure. I am in agreement with the prosecution. If the defendant, excuse me, was seen wielding the blade, that is sufficient grounds for her actions to be viewed with suspicion. But if she was withdrawing the blade, then we are back to where we started. Sorry. Consider this, young yokel boy. If the student girl is innocent, as you claim, then why would she have pulled the blade from the victim? And with the demon's cold-blooded composure, too. Because she's 16 and probably doesn't know that when you pull out the blade that it is more likely to kill someone. She probably thought she was helping. The prosecution demands an explanation, and it better be good. Oh, whoa, bestie, stay safe. Why did Ray pull out that knife? Yes, going for the jugular. What does father mean by that? Let the court hear your answer then, counsel. The truth is, I don't really know. I have to come up with a plausible reason here or we don't have a case. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife blade out of the victim's body was surely so she could save her life. It has to be, right? According to the post-mortem report, the victim's death was not instant. That's correct. It's thought she would have remained conscious for a short while after sustaining the injury. Indeed, giving her the time to take hold of this piece of evidence that clearly indicates her killer. then the point is, being a medical research assistant, Mabami-san was compelled to act when faced with a wounded victim. Instinctively, she pulled the blade out in an attempt to save Miss Brett's life. Did you hear that, Your Excellency? It would seem this is the best we can expect of this young yokel. Indeed. What? Is it just me, or does it suddenly feel much colder in here? Your Excellency, if I may speak, I would like another opportunity to testify. In respect to this slipshod assertion just put forward by the Yokel Defense Council, I mean. Slipshod? An excellent idea, Inspector. Our young yokel hopeful has a modicum of knowledge when it comes to the law, it seems. But in matters of medicine, he appears to not or possess not one iota of common sense. Very well, Inspector, I will permit your request. You will testify again before the court on the subject of the defense counsel's assertion. Yes, sir. I will do so flawlessly. Pulling a blade from a wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding. That's basic knowledge that any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know. In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from my victim. Let's not forget that the young student did— my victim? Did he just— from the victim? Let's not forget that the young student did have a motive for killing the victim. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago, Dr. Wilson, was the defendant's highly respected mentor. Is what you just said true, Inspector? Could pulling a knife from a wound really cause the wound to bleed heavily? Yes, think of the weapon itself as a stopper in the wound that prevents excessive blood loss. Till doctor is ready to provide proper treatment, that stopper shouldn't be removed. I see. Ha! This is why yokels should stay on the farm. Even a quack from some obscure mountain village would have such basic knowledge. Anyone who's ever given someone a little poke with a knife and pulled it out again knows it. Well, I've never stabbed anyone, you see, or pulled a blade out of a wound, so... Of course you haven't. I didn't bring you up to behave like a bandit. Father, is it true what they're telling me? Yes, it's basic remedial knowledge for medics. Ray would have been well aware of it too. If she were to claim ignorance of such fundamentals, that would prove fatal in many ways. But then why would Ray have done it? Panic? Maybe? I could believe people do stupid things in a panic. Could she have pulled out that knife in full knowledge that would be fatal for Miss Brett? I don't know. Ray never once mentioned anything about the knife to me. It seems almost impossible to believe, but could my friend actually have Susanoo? Yes, pull yourself together. We mustn't lose sight of why we're here. Counsel, it's time for your cross-examination. Defense, your story is falling apart. The leading cause of most dismemberments is farm work. Yes, Your Excellency. However, I must warn you that if your cross-examination fails to identify any issues with established facts, I will be moving to my education immediately afterward. It's funny because, like, I know a lot of people who work in, like, hospitals and stuff, right? And usually because it's always, like, farmmen, but, like, that get hurt by farm work, but they wait so long to do it that it causes really bad damage that could have otherwise been avoided. Like, because if a man comes in alone with farm work like a farmer man comes in to the ER alone without his wife, you know it's bad, kind of thing. If that makes sense. I understand. Believing in your clients and fighting for their cause until the bitter end. I knew it would be hard, but I had no idea it would be this hard. Alright, let me take a sip of water. Okay. Pulling a blade from a wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding.
Hold it!
And maybe she wasn't thinking. You say doing it without thinking could be a problem. Does that mean if you use due care and attention, it would be alright? I wouldn't have thought this needed spelling out. He's petting the turtle. The blade is like a stopper in the wound. Remove it and a serious hemorrhage will occur. Well, wasn't there a serious hemorrhage that occurred? I want to see the little twirl. Extreme meiosis. In other words, a medic would need to be present before any attempt was made to withdraw the blade. Doing it without thinking would be madness. You just can't do it. Well, thank you for such a thorough explanation. You see, Counsel, when you act without thinking, the result is a bloodbath. Back to the witness testimony, please. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I had McDonald's before stream. That's basic knowledge that any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know.
Hold it!
In that case, there's an obvious explanation here. Which is... clearly, the defendant, Remember-me-san, does not possess an ounce of sense. What do you think about that, Professor Mikotoba? I'm sure you should be labeling your best friend as lacking in common sense. Well, I thought it would be better than labeling her as a murderer. I don't know, young people today. It's that if that's friendship, I don't understand it. Careful, Counsel. A lack of common sense can be a very dangerous thing. Oh dear, that recoiled at me rather badly. That's life, I'm afraid. A lesson everyone must learn. Hopefully you can see now that this is really basic medical knowledge. Being involved in the medical research, without saying her full name, it's so weird to say. Mamami-san would certainly have been aware of it. In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim.
Hold it!
But the defendant had suddenly encountered somebody she knew lying on the ground bleeding to death. The sight could have shocked her delicate sensibilities, causing her to remove the blade inadvertently. I really don't think inadvertent actions can explain this. The woman is a medical research assistant. I can't imagine she would have behaved so irrationally. But irrational behavior is a woman's prerogative, isn't it? Oh dear, you have a lot to learn about women. Only a small-minded man could have such bigoted views. Oh god, perhaps I'm letting my male persona take a hold a little too much. Well, have I managed to convey the basics now? That should cover the medical side of the argument. Natsuzato being a misogynist. She's being a pick-me-now. Not utilizing sexism to win this court hit. I would do it too. I'm not even gonna lie. If I was pretending to be a man in a world where men really hate women, I probably would pull that too. Like, isn't she stupid? Don't you think women are stupid? Let's not forget that the young student did have a motive for killing the victim.
Hold it!
Whatever the motive, it just isn't Mamami-san's nature to do something so awful. But she had both motive and opportunity that's very hard to argue against. Osanaga should have caught you itself. You don't know the defendant.
Objection!
And you, counsel, do not appear to know the law. Yes, evidence is the only way to convince the court of your argument, not feelings. So where's the knife? With this, do we get the knife? This fledgling to defender, I would almost say I pity the accused. We didn't even get the knife. So do I... Inspector, you will reiterate your point about the defendant's motive, please. Yes, Miss Brett was in many ways the sworn enemy of Mamami-san. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago, Dr. Wilson, was the defendant's highly respected mentor. Well, yes, that's true. Dr. Wilson recognized Mamami-san's talent and offered her the position of assistant, despite her being a woman. She was extremely grateful to him. Yes, the Englishman appears to have been a very broad-minded individual. Dr. Wilson had no time for outdated traditions. He met with the opposition, of course. He was met with opposition, of course, but he believed firmly in Mbami-san's abilities. Clearly, the defendant was in the man's debt, which only serves to prove my point. This is hopeless. I can't find a single crack in his testimony. Ray knew that withdrawing the knife from the wound would threaten Miss Brett's life further. Then why would she do that? I just can't think of any way to explain why she did it. Susato, it's at times like these when it's especially important to remember the fundamentals. Evidence is what counts in the courtroom, of course, but I've been through the court record dozens of times. I think perhaps you're forgetting something though. You need to take the evidence at face value. You can examine it in greater detail. All right, I think... Where is the knife? Let's look at the pin, I guess. Oh, we haven't looked at the pin. I can't. Why were we given this? I realize this is your first time playing the role of lawyer, so if you need reminding of the rudiments, you need only ask. I'll do my very best to help. Examine the evidence to court workers and ideas. What should I do? I know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come to think of it, Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo-san were always turning evidence over in their hands. It won't let me though. It won't let me look at things. It just tells me magnifying glass. Oh, now it lets me? Now it lets me? I had to talk to Dad first, and now it lets me? I swear it didn't let me. I swear. That's like the only piece of evidence that I can look at. Okay. Permission from Dad. Okay, can we take this off? Oh, I love this art. Oh, I love this. If we take off the pin's lid. Okay, the fact that we can do that. RM initials are very clearly engraved here. The fact that Miss Brett was clinging to this pin in her dying moments is very clearly a message too. To identify her killer, you mean? I don't think there can be any doubt that this is a key piece of evidence in this case. Can we look at that? There's some sort of emblem here, look. But it isn't a Yume University one. It must belong to some other organization, I suppose. Business of some kind. Does seem to imply that the pin doesn't in fact belong to Ray. Kira's initials arm was as well as an emblem of some description. Now let's unscrew the barrel, shall we? You're kidding. I was just circling around. We leaking out ya. Oh man, Mo bestie. This must be the little reservoir that holds the ink. Yes, you fill it by drawing ink from a bottle up through the nib. Is something wrong? Just that there doesn't actually appear to be any ink in there. Yes, you're right, it's pretty much empty. Well, it could be on the verge of running out, I suppose. Anything else we haven't looked at? Remember when I didn't open the door of the carriage? I have to make sure I don't do that again. I can't believe it let me continue that case without opening that though. It doesn't look like I can do anything else though. Okay, so a fountain pen bearing the initials RM and an emblem of some description. It's a very small amount of liquid still inside the ink reservoir. By looking in your eyes, it's coming back to you. Yeah. You had to give me permission to look at things. Oh, I don't think it could cause heavy bleeding. It's basic knowledge that any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know. In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife. So forget the victim student didn't have a motive. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago. Dr. Wilson was the defendant. It's gotta be the pen if it makes me examine it. What the hell am I? What? Oh, that was my brother. Hold on. I get nervous when there's like an Amazon order placed. I can examine everything now. Oh, okay, it was me. Okay. Alright, I already looked at that. Why is she holding onto the pen, though? Ah, now we can look at things. Okay. Raucous England returnees tell all. This is the interview with you and Saseki-san, is it, father? Looks as though it's quite an exchange. Yes, he became a little over-animated. He was talking about this time in England. The photographer managed to capture the moment his hand karate chopped me on the neck. I do hope you weren't hurt. I do love the Ryotaro portrait a lot. Okay, so now we can actually look at everything. This is a newspaper from Seki. There seems to be an important article on the back page as well. Deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. From Yume's medical research. Father sent that your lab. What? Let me see that. The poison's been stolen? It's this morning's paper that Saseki-san gave us. Are you saying you didn't know? As embarrassing as that is for the head of the laboratory, I didn't. I've not heard any such thing. Where on earth could the reporter have gleaned this information? Come to think of it, there was no article mentioning this story in our paper this morning, was there? It's a highly toxic poison we've been working on in the strictest confidence. I put Ray in charge of the project. She was managing it. What's written here is true. It means she tried to hide the theft from me. And moreover, the details were leaked somehow. I don't believe it. We need to read this article very carefully. Article about poison that was stolen from a laboratory. Even my father was responsible for the lab knew nothing of the incident. Nothing else. Okay, so it's just... Okay. Exclusive deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. Following a lecture at Yume by Saseki Natsume on 11th of August, it's come to light that a very disturbing incident took place. A deadly poison being secretly developed in the university's forensic science laboratory was stolen. Even the smallest amount entering the body, either via mouth or via wound from a poison-laced blade, would prove fatal in minutes. Current methods cannot detect the newly developed chemical. The university would have to be consulted. Onset of symptoms occur in minutes, starting with impaired breathing and ending with acute contraction of the pupils prior to death. Such symptoms would be suggestive of this toxin. It's apparently an entirely new synthesis of alkaloids and rumored to have been commissioned by the military. I'm dead, but I lived. Okay, so that's important, but I don't know when. That's why the pupils are constricted. I'm still a little... Pulling blood from the wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding. It's basic knowledge that any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know. In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Let's not forget that the young student did have a motive. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago, Dr. Wilson was the defendant's highly respected mentor. So what the fuck am I supposed to... Bingo. And does it... And the pin is empty. It's gotta be the motive thing, I think. Because, like, you can't argue against that, because he's right. It's basic knowledge that any medical research assistant with an I don't know how you prove she doesn't have common sense. In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. It's gotta be that one. Or this one. What did the poison say? Oh, okay. Even the smallest amount entering the body, either via the mouth or via a wound from a poison-laced blade. Okay, so it's that. Is it this one? In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would try. Objection! Okay, there we go. No, there is one possibility. One very good reason why the defendant might have decided to withdraw the knife from the victim's wound. What? The yokel not only has a poor grasp of the law, but is also a poor loser. Tell us then, what possibility do you think you've identified? It's here, in the newspaper article. An article about a deadly poison having been stolen from the laboratory at the Imperial Yume unit. And, excuse me, the victim perished from a stab wound. Poison has no relevance in this case. But, Prosecutor Achi, you will let the defense speak. But a newspaper article, the court cannot rely on the kind of hearsay those wretched publications carry. Counsel for the defense. I'm going to need some tangible basis for your claim. You will indicate to the court precisely what part of the newspaper article mention affirms your assertion. Heresy, Your Excellency. Yes, of course. Thank you. Ray would never have done something to further endanger Miss Brett's life without just cause. The reason why the defendant pulled a knife from the victim's body is explained in the article where it says... This one, I think. Watch, I got it wrong. The article reveals the following property about the poison in question. When the toxin enters the body on a knife laced with the poison, it's rapidly absorbed and causes death in minutes. Are you suggesting... If the knife used to attack Miss Brett was laced with this very poison, it would explain why the defendant, Mbami-san, would have withdrawn the blade as soon as possible. Yes, the truth is... It was an attempt to stop the poison from entering the victim's body. What? This is complete and utter nonsense. Not at all. The defendant withdrew the knife blade from the victim's body not to accelerate the woman's demise, but to save her life, and the prosecution cannot deny the possibility. Read the post-mortem report. The cause of death was a hemorrhage. The word poison appears nowhere in the document. Well, that's because by acting quickly to remove the blade, the defendant prevented the poison from taking hold. If you listen to Susanna's objection theme, it's actually her usual theme, just sped up a lot. It sounds like it. right? I don't know. I thought it was the same song. I haven't heard her theme in a little bit, I guess. Oh, please, this is clearly desperation. The weasel's last breaking of wind. Poison has nothing whatsoever to do with this case, as I believe the defense is well aware. We have no proof that the information in this wretched newspaper article is at all reliable anyway. In that situation, what the student should have done is wait for medical assistance to arrive. But instead, you claim she suspected poisoning and took the potentially lethal decision to remove the blade. I love music theory. I wish I took a class in it though, but I love music theory. She must have had a strong reason for her suspicions then, or the argument makes no sense. I'm about to take a Tylenol, I think. There's one on the table, so I'm gonna go get it. Exact same order of phrases, Tim. What makes a Naruto steam different? Oh, see? Not recognize that. Hospital Tylenol. It's the same amount of Tylenol that I have upstairs. I need to make a TikTok about Ahti using the if you see a bitch in an alley with a bad bob, that is not me. I wish this game had more like funny little meme things. Tim, were you a band kid? Can't open it. Mood. Tim, you give me French horn or euphonium vibes. Baritone. But I might be wrong. I feel like we talked about this though. I can't open the Tylenol. I can't open it. It gives you trumpet vibes. I knew a lot of trumpets. Band kids are fun. It's the color guard freaks you have to watch up. I was like a dance assistant my senior year. I helped out. Were you a clarinet? Or are you a saxophone? Because French horns and saxes are pretty... I'm a saxophone, if you didn't know. I can find band pictures if you would like. Saxophone. You play bass clarinet. Okay. Okay. So that's why you didn't give clarinet vibes, because you weren't... I can't fucking open this. Him is a Squidward. I was clarinet in middle school, but left to focus on ballet. Okay, dancer. Are we human or are we dancer? I left dance to do band. To be fair, my school didn't have, or like, I don't know if I would have done well in dance. I knew I couldn't be like a scene kid in dance though, you know what I mean? But I knew I could be a scene kid in band. I did play in elementary. I didn't learn an instrument till middle school. I gave my sax to my mother and she pawned it, so I haven't seen a saxophone in forever. But I have my ukulele right here. That's the only other instrument I know. Okay, triple threat. I have my cousin's sax. I don't really use it though. I don't think the fingerings are necessarily the same though. I don't know. I was a bass clarinet. I don't know actually. I don't know anything. I just stayed saxophone. I sucked. I didn't really suck. I just didn't care as much the first 2 years of high school, and then I cared a lot the last 2 years of high school. But I'm kind of glad I didn't do Longhorn band in college, because I think if I was in band, me and Jeremy would have never been together. apparently the saxophones were a little freaky. Oh, I know I know. they had a reputation. Their sax is a lot easier. But everyone wants to play clarinet. I used to be able to play ukulele, guitar, and drums, and my ADHD had to make room for all the Sims cheats. I can sort of. I don't think she's tuned though. I can't hear anything because my headphones are sound canceling, so I can't hear it. But fan kids in college are all a bit freaky. That's also very true. That is also very true. Fucking weirdos. But yeah, I think if I did band out, me and Jeremy would have never been together, so grateful for that. She must have had a strong reason to her suspicions then, or the argument makes no sense. Emma reflexively plays Smoke on the Water. On the ukulele? Or on the guitar? On the guitar. It's like Smoke on the Water on ukulele. My sister has like several guitars from my father. So I think I'm gonna get one of them. And maybe I'll learn guitar again. My ex before Jeremy, I left my guitar at his house and then we broke up. And then I have not seen or heard about that guitar since. It was a beautiful guitar. But sometimes you lose things in breakups. And that is one of the things that I really hate that I lost. And my cat. But... I'm so besties with all my college friends who were in orchestra. They were bassoon, flute, and cello. Love that. I didn't play in college, I just went to the parties. Yeah, that's me. I just went to the parties. That or Wonder. Imagine someone whips out a violin and plays Wonderwall. My favorite thing about ukulele is playing guitar songs on it, though. I love doing that. I haven't played ukulele in a bit, though. We have a keyboard too that I sort of play sometimes. I play around on it. I don't really know what I'm doing. But like a little cheap little keyboard. But all pianos are built equally, sort of. They don't sound all the same, but if you can play the keyboard, you can play piano, I would assume. Well, you need to press the pedals and stuff. That should be sort of easy. I don't know. Exactly, well put, Inspector. On what grounds does she do it? Yoko. I had a friend whose sugar daddy owned a music land and they told me they crushed his balls for an 80% discount on the instrument. What does that mean? I don't know. Do I want to know? Do I want to know? Why did Ray suspect the stolen poison was involved? If you want grounds, I'll give you grounds. What? So all of his workers know about his shit, but he's unaware. What? Your friend's balls were crushed, or the sugar daddy's balls were crushed? Now I have to know. I mean, that's a thing for some people. Am I allowed to talk about this on Twitch? The sugar daddy. Okay. Huh. You could just, you know, get... If he owned it, why... You can't possibly... Huh. From your expression, Counsel, it would appear that those are not empty words. But naturally, as you stand in the courtroom as a lawyer, you must be aware that words alone, empty or not, are of no value in our modern justice system. The court demands evidence. He owned the store, so he had some money. Don't you go to the... Can't... Did he have to go to the hospital? I don't know what it's like to have balls, but I've heard it's not pleasant sometimes. I've seen it many times from my place at a site in the Old Bailey. In that case, counsel, you will present the proof to the court now. What evidence demonstrates a clear link between this case and the poison in the newspaper article? This one. Because the eyes, right? Page 2. Page 2 of this. I would ask the court to refer to the notes section of the post-mortem report, which reads, extreme meiosis pupil constriction was observed in the victim. Nicki Minaj's cousin's friends. Anyway, I only brought this up because she has like 8 guitars. That's a lot of guitars. Tim, what did I just... Clearly, being a yokel with no knowledge of forensic science, I have no idea, so please do tell me. Presumably, the fact that this condition of the victim was noted in the post-mortem report. It means that it's an unusual symptom of death. Well... under normal circumstances, the pupils dilate when someone dies. If there was extreme constriction instead, that most certainly is unusual. What are you doing, you yokel detective? In the newspaper article, there's the following information about the stolen poison. Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, ending with acute contraction of the pupils prior to death. If the defendant, upon seeing the victim stabbed in the back, happened to notice that the pupils of Miss Brett's eyes had constricted severely. Yes, as a medical research assistant, she would have suspected poison immediately without doubt. Prosecutor Achi, I think you'll agree. This is a very compelling evidence. You yokel student and yokel professor. Booty. Little booty. I believe the defense has expertly demonstrated a credible reason for the defendant's actions. No. Yujin Mikotoba? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe you are best placed here to confirm or deny the veracity of the defense's counsel argument. You will tell the court the truth about the details reported in this newspaper, please. It pains me to have to admit, but I'm afraid I don't know. You don't know. The toxin was kept under lock and key in my laboratory, certainly, but I wasn't aware of any theft. Do you mean to tell the court that the reports of this theft are unfounded? No, Your Excellency. Without returning to the laboratory to investigate myself, I couldn't say. Listen to the bubbling academic. Oh, now he's smart. Unaware of the theft of secret state research from his own workplace until he reads of it in the newspaper. I'll take full responsibility for the incompetence of my supervision. Father. It's a pitiful situation for a university professor. You should have more control over your students rather than allowing them off on killing sprees. Excuse me, that's totally unfounded. None of this is Professor Mikotoba's fault. It's all my fault. Ray, Mambami-san, you stand accused here. Outbursts like this will not be tolerated. But it was me. I was the one who noticed that the poison we were developing had been stolen that day. What? So you knew? I've been placed in charge of overseeing the project. It was the day that the professor and Saseki-san were interviewed together for the newspaper. That's when I noticed that some of the poison was missing. Just a tiny amount it was. Why didn't you let me know immediately? I was scared. The whole project was supposed to be confidential, but some of the toxin had somehow been taken. So I decided I'd try to get it back before anyone else found out. Because I had a very good idea who the thief was. The thief? You don't mean... Of course, it was that dainty English woman, Miss Giselle Britt. That's why I decided to join the little group of people going to the seaside. Inside the beach hut, I confronted Miss Brett. but she just sat on the stool in the back of the hut, smiling sweetly at me as if she knew she was untouchable. I know it was you who stole the poison. Well now, whatever do you mean? And then she suddenly got to her feet before falling to her knees in front of me and then collapsing on the floor. That's when I saw the knife in her back. I couldn't understand what had just happened. And then, a moment later, I was seized with fear. The pupils of her eyes they shrunk to tiny pinpoints. I don't believe it. In other words, you realize that the victim was suffering the effects of the stolen poison. My mind started racing. I hadn't seen anything past Miss Brett's lips while I'd been with her, which left only one possible way for the poison to have entered her body. On the blade of the knife in her back. And that train of thought was spurred you to withdraw the blade. Yes, if that amount had entered her bloodstream, it was small enough she might still have a chance. That's what I had hoped. Really, I'm so sorry for staying silent all this time. Suzuki tried to shit over there. Your attempt to hide the truth of what happened is not something that could be overlooked. However, I have duly noted the courage with which you confessed in the end. They never asked the defendant what's their side. Thank you, Your Excellency. It's barely perceptible, but I do think the balance has shifted a little here in this courtroom now. Your Excellency, do not be deceived. The victim just collapsed before your eyes, you say. Well, Membami-san, if that is the case, perhaps you could explain how Miss Brett came to be stabbed. Well, you have no answer because the simple truth. You stabbed the victim motivated by revenge. Objection! That is not true. You have no conclusive evidence to prove that assertion, do you? Oh, I have evidence, and it is very much conclusive. What's the prosecution counsel up to? It was brief, but he hesitated for a moment there. I'm almost sure of it. You'll produce the aforementioned evidence at once, Professor Ouchie. Perhaps some praise is due, young yokel student. What? I imagine there would be no need for me to submit this evidence. But you brought this on yourself. You don't think it was her pulling it out? What the? Could a more damning shot exist? The cruelty in the air on the beach is almost palpable. This is evidence more than any other reveals the true extent of the accused murderous nature, for it shows the precise moment that Membami-san plunged her dagger into the victim's back. What? No, that's not true. 1 second. Okay, I don't believe it. Order, order, order. Counsel for the defense, was it you who was responsible for that shrill scream that just pierced my courtroom? Perhaps his voice is yet to break. Those yokels are slow of mind and slow to mature. I'll show you who's slow to mature. Careful now, Susato is starting to show her face here. It is often said that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and here we have ample proof. The court will accept this extremely cogent photographic print as evidence. The incriminating photograph has been entered. A photographic print taken at the moment the victim was attacked. My friend Ray can be seen kneeling over Miss Brett. I can't believe he's had a photograph like that up his sleeve the entire time. Her little confused face. Well, who the fuck took this picture? Where did they take this picture from? Huh. If it's such a stark image, I'm genuinely lost for words. If it's the 1800s, we front beer die. Wait a minute, I don't understand. How did you, I mean, who took that photograph? Ray. Objection! That's of no importance here. Stop trying to divert attention. Well, they are a witness then, are they not? Objection! That's an absurd thing to say. It's crucially important. Whoever took this photographic print was a witness to Miss Brett's death. The court must be allowed to hear this person's testimony. I will uphold the defense's demand. The prosecution will reveal the identity of the person responsible for taking this photograph at once. Well, I'm afraid I can't do that. Pardon? You see, the print arrived at the Imperial Police Bureau headquarters by express post yesterday, but there's nothing to indicate the sender's name or address. The provenance of the print is unknown. Goodness, are we to understand then, Counsel, that in full knowledge of the fact that this photograph has the murkiest of origins, you nevertheless believe it fit for submission as evidence in the Supreme Court? When you first produced that print before, I noticed that you hesitated for a brief moment, because you knew that it wasn't completely reliable evidence, didn't you? Silence, you yokel student blabbering, Professor. What matters is the blatant truth that this print so eloquently expresses. But the defendant has already admitted to pulling the blade from the wound. Clearly, this isn't the moment the knife was plunged in the victim's back, but the moment it was withdrawn. Don't waste this court's time with your ramblings. Indeed, without knowledge of who produced this print, we have no means of verifying this claim. And the scene it captures is without doubt the most compelling evidence presented to the court. And if the defense is unable to shed any further light on the matter, I believe the conclusion is clear. Oh no. Susato, this is the time for you to fight. If what you've established so far is true, then there can be no doubt. This photograph shows the moment that Ray withdrew This photograph shows the moment that Ray withdrew the blade from the victim. We just need to prove it. You have plenty of time to rue your defeat on the slow train back to the promises, and to rue the day you came up against Takatsuchi Achi in the court of law. If I can't determine who took the photograph, then the trial is going to come to an end. There must be a clue somewhere. There must be some way of working out who took it. Well, Counsel? Your Excellency, the burning question is who took that photograph, and the truth is... Do I know? Why is it cracked? Do I know? It's gotta be... Is it Hosonaga? I have the answer? It's about whether I can or can't come up with the answer now. I simply have to. The identity of the person who took this dramatic photographic print is, I assure you, something the defense can and will reveal. What? No, you can't possibly. But, as you so boldly claim that you can, please enlighten us. Fortunately, I'm unable to present a name. How utterly underwhelming. However, I am able to present evidence. The vid is a piece of evidence that reveals important details about the photographer's identity. It's the paparazzi guy. Because of the crack in the photograph. Because I noticed it also in this picture. See? I'm so smart. Very well then, counsel. Present your proof to the court. Which piece of evidence do you claim reveals something about the identity of the mystery photographer? What is that? The newspaper again. Raucous England attorneys tell all. It's not the headline, it's the photo. If you look at it closely, well, you'll notice that there are some white lines on the right-hand side. It's because you had to make sure I knew it was a black and white photo. Yes, indeed. They had already caught my eye as it happens. Because I noticed it. They don't call them mollienoodles for nothing. I noticed it, but I don't know if I said anything. But I just said something about the second. I was like, why is there a crack in it? Oh, yes, indeed. They had already caught in my eye as it happens. Oh my gosh. I'm triggering the SIRI. SSRIs? What of it? A shadow of some kind, presumably from the branches of a tree or the like. There are no trees growing inside my laboratory at the university, I can assure you. Now, if you look closely at this photograph, it's the same fucking crack. Good gracious. Yes, exactly the same pattern of lines is present on this photograph, too. And then he said that, and I was like, he gets it. That tells us nothing. Yes, it's a shadow of some kind, definitely, from the branches of a tree. What a wild one, though. There wouldn't be any trees growing inside a hut at the beach council. What's quite remarkable about it is that the two patterns are absolutely identical. How could such an extraordinary similarity have transpired? The curious magic pattern that appears on both photographic prints is a result of a camera defect. Obviously, it must be due to a problem with the camera used to take the photographs. With the photographic device? Yes, we can confidently say that the camera's lenses must be scratched, and that the scratched lens cause unwanted lines to appear on every print taken with the device. Oh, she's just like, in short, the two photographs under consideration here, I'm in my Meiji era, were taken with the same care. But there must be hundreds of such camera devices here in the capital. 3 stores are flooding, but we're just leaking a bit, so upper management doesn't care yet. What the fuck? It's that bad right now and you're still at work? Oh my god. Oh my god. It would be utterly impossible to identify the owner of this particular one. I think you're forgetting, Prosecutor Ouchie. Now, one of the photographs featured in a newspaper article. A newspaper? That's right. I don't remember what the BTTV emote is for my objection. The author of that article is the mystery witness to this crime. I love the Meiji ear. Shut the fuck up. It's Marine Day? Oh my gosh, it's Marine Day. I see why you were called a raucous English returnee. What are you yelling about? You've already testified. It's Minimo, I tell you. Minimimo, 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 minimimo. Me-ne-me-mo. Okay, work. Sasaki-san? What was that? Did you say minimo? Minimimo. Ever since I returned to Japan, a reporter from the Shoyu News has been hounding me, following my every move. Minimo. A reporter by the name of Righton Minimimo. Yes, hounding me from dawn till dusk. Now that he mentions it. There he is. What are you writing down? Could that same reporter be a camera to the left of him, a notebook to the right? There I am, stuck in the middle with Righton Mini Memo. So you're saying that this picture was taken by Mini Memo? Yes, my lord, your excellency, Esquire. officer. Find the newspaper reporter. I want to bring him into my courtroom. He's got a warrant. This grimace shake. We will adjourn for a short recess in the meantime. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. As you say, Your Excellency. And one more thing. I want this knife, the murder weapon, examined for traces of poison. Why didn't we get that in the first place? You will solicit the assistance of the Imperial University's medical department for the task. Understood? Ooh. Meh. Minimum. It is already 10. Let's see where it stops me. Does it stop me? Okay. Looks like it's already 10. I watched one of my favorite streamers play the original trilogy. Well, the first game. And I don't know how he did it, but he did like the whole case pretty much every day. And I was like, I can't stream that long, especially not since coming back to stream, and I forgot how to stream. Minimimo! I need to EP for work tomorrow. So I'm getting a little tired. I'm getting a little tired. But now we're on trial part 2? No, it says part 1. Still, interestingly enough. Like, we ended last time at 10:08 p.m. too. But yeah. Do we have anyone to raid? This is a great first stream back. Thank y'all for all the subs and the love. I really appreciate it. I really do. I can't stream, but I did beat both games in a week. Well, I don't know if I can do that. Here, we'll go back to the back rooms wall. Put some music on. I think I was on it accidentally. I forgot to pause the fucking music. I believe I was on this song, I believe. So loud, I'm so sorry. Oh wait, it was only loud in my ears. Bum 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 bum. Oh gosh, there's like a bunch of people streaming. This is scary. Okay, hold on. Okay. Random's beating Ghost Trick, which we have not seen yet, so I don't want to raid someone who's beating the game. So... I guess we'll go raid Smith. That sound good to y'all? But that does have Tears of the Kingdom spoilers, so go say hi, but if you don't want spoilers, don't go. Don't stay, but say hi, but don't stay. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe screen reading so the spoilers will be faster than we could see, for real. But yeah, go say hi to Smith. And I will be back with this game on Wednesday. And then I think we'll do Pokemon Fusion Fridays. So I think I'll add Fridays to the stream schedule. I'm still kind of undecided about it. But we might continue Pokemon Fusions with Fridays. Maybe Thursday, Friday. Because, like, I'm thinking people had a hard time catching up with the game. So maybe give, like, 2 days of VODs and then a little bit of time before more. I don't know yet. Maybe we'll do, like, every other week there's 2 days of Pokemon Fusion. I don't know. I'm still kind of deciding. So... you know, it's rough. Hopefully I'll get this prettier. Hopefully. It does. Maybe I'll just put a colored backdrop, like buy one of those paper ones and put it in the back there. Because it does kind of give eeriness to it with this music too. All right, go say hi to Smith. I will see y'all later. Bye bye.
Molly! With the raid! Thank you, Molly. I hope you had a good stream playing Ace Attorney. Very gay? Hell yeah.